was orchestrated by men. And I know some
Hi.
men argue
Thank you
and
for
will still
watching
argue
Shuri's
and
weight
say
loss
women only
journey.
get with men because of
Ooh,
what they
woke
get
up,
from men. It's vice
found out
versa.
that
But
Trump
women have
is
justifiable
said to
reason
have
for doing
won
that.
the
Like I
election,
said, men created a system
right?
that was not favoring women, a
And
system that restricted
it
women,
was in my
and men were
mind
the
that
ones
there
that
were
had the
all of
upper
these
hand.
men that
Men
were
were the
thinking,
oppressors.
yeah,
So
we
right
can
now,
oppress
women
the
don't need men
women,
anymore for survival
right?
because women can
But
fend for themselves. The
here's what
society
they
has
didn't
shifted, things
realize,
have evolved. The
right?
current society is more
Trump got a
favorable to
goddess
women
as his
regarding
wife.
women's
She's a
independence and
Taurus,
finances. So women are getting
okay?
jobs and
And
fending for
she's going to
themselves.
tell
So look
him,
at it. If
she's going
women
to
were
tell
getting with
him,
men because of survival, they
you
get to
know,
eat. So why
how
should
to
women
correct
get with men
these
when they have access
delinquent,
to go to work and fend for themselves?
incorrigible
Taking it back to the
guys out
point,
here.
men had
She
always
gonna tell
had the
him,
upper
and
hand.
he's gonna
They
do it.
had money, but they still
Okay?
wanted women.
And
They
then
wanted to enslave women, use women
here's
to
the
get
other
their chores
thing
done
that's going
and
to happen.
have their
The
babies.
other
What does
thing
that
that's
tell you
going to
about men?
happen
They were not subdued,
is
they were not oppressed, but
all
they were
of
the
this
oppressors.
oppression
And
that
the
they thought that they
oppressed
was going
women,
to
but
do
for
to
women,
women,
women were fighting for
okay?
survival and they've gotten a means
All
to
of this,
survive and they're saying they don't want
I
to be
thought
with
it was
men anymore.
me,
They are not
that
oppressing
was
men, but they're
inadequate
saying they
trying to
don't want
prove
this relationship
myself to
anymore.
you.
Men have always
Well,
viewed
women
women
aren't
as
going to try
slaves
to
and
prove
treated
themselves
us
to you
accordingly.
anymore.
The society
They're
grooms
just
and
not,
conditions men to have
okay?
internalized hatred for
That
women.
woman that you thought
That's
that
why
was
you
going to
have
be
this
in the
must
house
have
cooking and
hatred
cleaning
for
and
women.
stuff like
Talking about the
that,
issues that women face has
uh-uh.
really opened my eyes to how much
You're
men
going to come home and the
are
house is
right
going to be
before.
dirty.
I knew that patriarchy existed,
The
sexism
food
existed,
ain't
but
going to
not
be
realize how
cooked.
fundamentally at their core, most
And you're
men
going to
hate
say,
women.
why couldn't you
I'm
just
sorry, girl,
do
this may
that?
sound shitty, but if you're
Shit,
feminine and he is not
you sent the
actively
food
speaking out
home
about women's rights and women's issues, he probably
via,
fucking hates you. I get
Walmart
comments
delivery.
all
And
day
she was
long,
like,
every
oh,
day,
was
on
I
anything I
supposed to
post,
put it in the
telling me how terrible I
refrigerator?
am, how I should die, how my gender, the violent things that should happen to me, the
Uh,
rights that should be revoked from me.
I
I get
think
those
it's
comments
still
from
out there on
children,
the
from boys
porch,
as young as 12, 13, 14.
right?
I get them from
When you want
grown
to
ass
sit up
men. I
here
get them from 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds.
and treat somebody
The most
like they're
common
an
Instagram average
ass,
everyday dudes, right? I click on their social
hmm
media profiles and they have wives, they have families, they have children sometimes.
we can play
Sometimes they're twice their age.
obtuse
Sometimes they look
also,
happy. They post photos of their hobbies, the things that they
okay?
enjoy
There's
doing.
a lot of
One of
women
them
out
commented
here
on my
who are
profile
not
talking about
happy,
how a woman who was pureed by
right?
her boyfriend deserved it. And
Because
they
you
joked about it.
wanted to
Or
oppress
they sent
her
me DMs
for
telling me the
air.
vile things that they want to do to me. I wish I
And
could get
she's
inside
like,
my
so
ear
what?
and look
Kill
at the phone
us.
and not read
We're not
a
afraid of
graphic
death
DM about
anymore.
ways that a man wishes that
When
I
you
would be
get to be a
assaulted.
slave and you're
But I
not
can't even
even
do that.
afraid of death anymore,
So
you
women,
might as well just
again,
throw
your man is not
in
actively speaking out and
the
supporting women.
game,
If your man is not
right?
actively
Just
calling
just
out
throw
men,
the game away.
you should ask him if he can take a look through his social media.
But that's
You should ask him if
okay.
he can take a look at the comments that he posts.
You
Because
know,
most social media
it's gonna
apps
have
and
to
media
play
apps,
out,
they have that function where you
right?
can see
It's
everything
gonna
he's
have to
posted, everything
play
he's
out.
commented. What's your man saying
And
about other women online? This is going to be a really good
here's
indication
the
of how he
most
views you.
beautiful part about it of all, for me at least. The most beautiful part of it of all is how you're going to have to become the worst demon, tyrant, corrupt being.
And many more times than that. And if you look at the data,
And that's going to assure that you'll never get a second chance. You'll never have a reincarnation. Never, never, never.
Street stalking, actual stalking, sexually inappropriate.
You're going to be doomed to the third and seventh and fifth hell.
This action doesn't come from nowhere.
But that's cool, right? You wanted that. As long as you was able to live this life, wonderful. Okay? But it ain't gonna be wonderful. It's not.
And think that
okay?
They are denied, that is cause enough for them to inflict harm on women. Yes.
So, you think that you can beat somebody into cleaning the house? Okay. It's like, yeah, try it. You're going to get tired of beating them. You're going to get hurt while you hitting them.
We can use after the government of Afghanistan
right?
went viral for making it forbidden for women to speak out loud in public
places. It ain't even gonna be worth it. You're gonna be, damn, every time I beat you, I hurt myself.
In public and private. This comes as the Ministry of Virtue and Prevention of Vice decided to ban women from going to high school or university, working in civil service, attending a protest, going
have your babies?
Speaking to a male doctor.
We're gonna have your babies and we're not gonna take care of your babies. You're gonna say, but those are your babies. And we're gonna say, we were forced to have those babies. We didn't love those babies. We didn't love the man. We're not no human incubator. Who the fuck do you think I am?
voices to be heard in public, and they're already banned from
Anyway.
reading in public. In addition to this, they
So,
must also veil their face and body at all times.
it's just all going to have to play out.
Clothing to avoid tempting others,
like I said, you know,
to look at men
there has to be
or
collateral damage.
So how are women who are the
Now, there will be some women out there treated like princesses.
if even their voices are forbidden?
The shocking thing is
Right?
that
The men that can afford the maids, the men that can afford the house cleaners, the men that can afford to have the cooks and stuff and the nannies. Those women, yeah, they're going to continue
How is the Bible misogynist?
to bear children.
Wait, is that a serious question?
But who's not going to afford to bear children?
One of the foundations of the book is that a woman is the reason for all of the suffering of humanity. It's not like that was a long story and it's like whatever, nobody cares. No, they bring that up again, like for misogyny.
And here's the thing, right? When you sit up here and you have all of these kids and you didn't care whether or not you took care of them, you taught the woman how not to care. She couldn't care. She tried her best to care. And you told her she was a fool. She was inadequate. She wasn't a good mother. That's the main reason why she's not going to try to raise your children. Because you wanted her to raise your children off of sweat, tears, and saliva. And let me tell you something.
Literal salt. For what? For looking back while running away. Thou shalt not come.
Let me tell you something.
Nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. You know, because women are property, like donkeys.
You're sitting up here talking about you don't want to pay child support.
You must pay the bride price.
Right? And society's looking at you like, you want us to take care of your kids? You want us to be taxed to take care of your kids?
Just whatever the going price for virgins is.
You sitting up here talking about it takes a village, and yet you got 20, 50 kids out there that you don't claim? What? They were like, we're going to get rid of the welfare system.
She is unclean for 7 days and has to go through a 33-day purification. However, if the baby is born female, she is unclean for 14 days.
And then you thought that you was going to get married to a woman
because female babies are twice as
and not get stuck with her? They're like, you're going to get stuck with that woman that you married to. And if you get caught violating the contract of marriage,
anyone who touches anything that they touch is unclean. If a priest's daughter becomes a prostitute,
you're going to pay.
If a man makes a vow, he's expected to keep that vow.
And I know you're like, well, why should I have to pay? Because parents spend 2 decades of sacrifice, of money, of investments to these children that you don't care about. Okay? And you think that you can just you think you could just take her. And you're like, well, she wasn't a virgin. Yeah, that's okay. But why didn't you wear a condom?
The punishment is her being stoned to death.
See, they still think that they had the right to stone women. Believe me, I told you guys a whole year ago, I said they should really have suicide chambers that people could just walk into. And I promise you, if they had a suicide chamber where women can just walk into and just get off of this planet, you could best believe over half of the women would go in there. A lot of the women right now are trying to figure out a way out. They're trying to figure out a way out. They're not going to get lost in you. You're a fucking devil. You don't keep your contracts. You lie. You cheat. And you destroy. That's exactly what a devil is. And then you think you're God.
These are all verses in the
Bye.
Bible, all of them.